There is something peculiar that catches the attention of the entire world when looking at this country. How can we explain that, in a single place, more twins are born than in any other part of the planet? It's not just a coincidence or a simple curiosity about countries. It is a phenomenon that challenges the understanding of science and culture. The curious eyes of scientists, researchers, and even tourists turn to this place like a mystery that demands to be solved. Is it something in the diet, traditions, or genetics itself that causes so many children to come into the world in pairs? With each generation, more and more twins appear, and the questions only multiply. How is it possible that in a small corner of the world, this characteristic is so striking? The search for answers takes us to Igbo Ora, a peaceful town, but enveloped in an atmosphere of mystery and fascination. What's so special about this place? And why does its history stand out among so many curiosities about countries? The first time visitors hear about Igbo Ora, they cannot help but be amazed. It's almost unbelievable that such a small place has such a high concentration of twins. People wonder, is it something supernatural? Or maybe it's science that hasn't yet been able to fully decipher what happens there. Whatever the answer, just talking about it sparks the imagination and the desire to understand more. And now that we're about to dive into this story, it's hard not to think about all the implications. What exactly causes this country to have so many twins? Is it a mix of cultural, biological, and even mystical factors? The answers begin to reveal themselves when we explore Igbo Ora and their deeply rooted traditions. Igbo Ora is a small town, but its name resonates with grandeur across the world. Known as the Land of Twins, this place seems to hold a secret that intrigues experts and residents. Walking through the city's quiet streets, the scenery is common. Simple houses, lively markets, and, of course, an impressive number of twins. This is not a legend or exaggeration, but a reality that impresses any visitor. Around every corner, you can find entire families where twins are as common as breathing. Local traditions are also an essential part of this mystery. In Igbo Ora, the birth of twins is seen as a blessing, a sign of prosperity and good luck. When a woman gives birth to twins, it is not just the family that celebrates, but the entire community celebrates as if it were an extraordinary event. And indeed it is. These are colorful parties, full of music and dances, which mark the beginning of a double life full of meanings. The impact of this cultural view may have deep roots and be in some way connected to the increasing number of twin births. In addition to traditions, some residents believe that the explanation goes beyond science. Some say that the region's ancestors protect and bless the city, ensuring that more twins are born there than anywhere else in the world. It is an ancient belief, but it continues to influence the way Igbo Ora inhabitants view this peculiarity. Celebrations, rituals, and respect for twins are passed down from generation to generation, keeping this unique tradition alive. But is all this local culture the only explanation for the phenomenon? While the community maintains its traditions, scientists have looked at other possible answers. Genetics, diet, and even the environment may be behind this mystery. Science does not yet have all the answers, but one thing is certain. Igbo Ora will continue to be a point of curiosity about countries for many, many years to come. When we look at the phenomenon of twins in Igbo Ora, the first question that arises is, do genetics play a central role? Science, as always, seeks answers within biological patterns, and it is no surprise that genes are among the first factors considered. Studies have shown that genetic predisposition can indeed influence the probability of multiple births. In families where there is a high incidence of twins, this characteristic seems to be passed from generation to generation, as if DNA kept this secret in its depths. Scientists have ventured into the family timelines of many of the people living in Igbo Ora. What they found was a strong genetic connection between generations, which may explain part of this mystery. It is curious to think that, over the centuries, a simple combination of genes has led to such a peculiar phenomenon. However, would genetics alone be enough to justify such a high number of twins? Although science has brought some answers, it is still far from solving the entire enigma. Furthermore, the impact of heredity means that many families have fascinating stories to tell. Imagine growing up in a house where your grandparents, parents, and even great-grandparents were all twins. It's not just a biological issue. It shapes the way people live, how they see the world, and how they relate to the idea of motherhood and family. This phenomenon transcends the limits of science and takes us to a point where genetics and culture meet, creating a unique scenario. But what about the future? If genetics really does play an important role, we could imagine that as new generations are born, the frequency of twins could continue to increase. This genetic factor is still being studied, and who knows, soon we may have more definitive answers about how the Igbo Ora genes challenge the rest of the world. And science, despite being advanced, is not the only one seeking explanations for this phenomenon. The next factor to explore may be as surprising as genetics. If there is something that arouses even more curiosity about countries and their peculiarities, it is the influence of food on local phenomena. In Igbo Ora, one of the most intriguing factors scientists and residents themselves consider is the impact of diet on the high rate of twins. The main highlight is the yam, a staple food in the region, consumed in various ways in families' daily lives. What is intriguing is that, according to some theories, this tuber may contain substances that directly affect women's fertility, promoting double ovulation, and consequently, the birth of twins. Yam is not just a food, it carries with it traditions and meanings that are intertwined with local culture. In addition to being nutritious, it is seen as a food that brings health and vitality. Families in Igbo Ora consume yam in large quantities, and this raises the question, could the secret to so many twins lie in the meals? While there is still scientific debate surrounding this idea, many believe the answer may lie in what these families put on their plates every day. After all, how can you not be fascinated by the possibility of a simple tuber influencing such an impressive phenomenon? The hormonal theory behind yam consumption is equally fascinating. Experts suggest that yam has phytoestrogens, substances that can increase hormone levels in women and promote the release of more than one egg during the menstrual cycle. This would explain why, in a community where yam is so widely consumed, so many twins are born. It is an explanation that combines tradition, science, and food in a harmonious way, without leaving aside the cultural factor that surrounds this food. But is the yam solely responsible? Although it is one of the most explored factors, the mystery does not end here. The influence of local culture and beliefs also shapes how Igbo Ora residents perceive fertility and the birth of twins. And, as we will see below, the supernatural side of this phenomenon can be as powerful as any scientific or nutritional factor. In Igbo Ora, the birth of twins is not just a country curiosity, it is something shrouded in mystery and spirituality. For residents, twins are not just seen as a result of genetics or diet. They are, above all, signs of prosperity, blessings sent by the gods or the ancestors. Since time immemorial, the community has believed that the birth of twins brings good luck, and therefore they are treated with almost sacred respect. Local stories and legends describe twins as special beings with spiritual powers that can protect or even guide their families. The traditions surrounding the birth of twins in Igbo Ora are deeply rooted. When a woman gives birth to twins, there are rituals that need to be followed exactly. Parties are organized, families gather, and songs of gratitude are sung, celebrating the arrival of these blessed children. The role of the elders in the ceremonies is crucial, as they are seen as the guardians of the traditions and spiritual practices that protect the twins. These rituals are not just part of the culture, but a way of keeping the connection with the past and ancient customs of the region alive. On the other hand, there is also a darker side to these beliefs. In the past, in some cultures, the birth of twins was viewed with some fear and apprehension. Some ancient superstitions associated twins with bad omens, and, on rare occasions, they were believed to be carriers of supernatural energies that could bring both prosperity and misfortune. This fear has dissipated over time, but there is still a deep respect for these ancient superstitions that, in some way, still influence the popular imagination. Between prosperity and respect, the twins continue to occupy a special place in the spiritual and cultural life of Igbo Ora. This mystical connection not only shapes how they are viewed, but also strengthens the bond between generations, creating an atmosphere of devotion around them. However, the impact of these births is not just religious or cultural. It affects the city's daily life, generating social and economic implications that also need to be explored. In Igbo Ora, the birth of twins is not only a biological or spiritual phenomenon, but also a social reality that impacts the daily lives of all residents. Imagine living in a city where the chances of meeting someone who has twins in the family are extremely high. The entire community is involved in the care and monitoring of these families. Life in Igbo Ora revolves around this peculiarity, and families of twins are not only viewed with admiration, but also as an essential part of the town's social fabric. National pride in this uniqueness is palpable. The country sees this high rate of twins as a cultural symbol that sets it apart from the rest of the world. In many regions, twin families are celebrated at local festivals and events, reinforcing the idea that these births are a source of prestige. This creates a strong collective identity, where being part of a family with twins is seen as a gift and a privilege. At the same time, this reality also reinforces ties between generations, creating a sense of continuity between the past and the present. But behind this pride, there are also social and economic challenges that cannot be ignored. Raising two children at the same time in a rural society is no easy task. Families need more resources, and in many cases, the city needs to adapt to support these twin families, especially in the areas of health and education. This raises the question, how have Igbo Ora coped with these growing demands? Although culture celebrates twins, the challenges of raising two children simultaneously in a society where resources are limited are very real. Despite these challenges, the city appears to have found a unique balance. Families organize themselves, and the community supports each other, offering support and collaboration. This sense of collectivity is what keeps Igbo Ora functioning harmoniously, even as social demands increase. However, the impact of this reality goes beyond daily needs. It also shapes the life stories that emerge from this community, where families with twins have powerful and inspiring experiences to share. Within the borders of Igbo Ora, there are stories that go beyond statistics, accounts of twins who have become symbols of inspiration for their families and communities. Some twins, with their lives intertwined since birth, built trajectories that are now known and celebrated across the country. These stories serve as examples of how the bond between twins can transcend biology and become something truly special. From twins who built successful businesses together, to others who chose different paths, but who remain connected in a unique way. One of these remarkable stories is that of Adebayo and Adeola, twins who became known throughout the country for their career in education. Both followed the same academic path, but each with a unique approach. While Adebayo stood out in the field of exact sciences, Adeola built his career in the humanities. Together, they opened a school in the city, where they collaborate to inspire young minds. The school's success is often credited to the synergy that the twins share, something they themselves attribute to the deep bond they have had since birth. Another moving story is that of a family who for 3 generations gave birth to twins. Imagine the impact of this on a small community like Igbo Ora. 3 consecutive generations of twins become a real milestone in the history of a family, and the townspeople know these examples well. The traditions of celebrating the birth of twins intensify even further in cases like this, becoming a celebration not only of new life, but also of the continuity and prosperity that the city believes is deeply linked to these births. These accounts are not only moving, but also reinforce the power of family bonding in Igbo Ora. Families of twins are seen as blessed, and their life stories carry a special energy that resonates throughout the community. While some of these stories become known beyond the city's borders, others remain treasures kept among families, each with their own touch of magic and resilience. But, as we will see below, the phenomenon of twins in Igbo Ora is not just an isolated case. Comparisons with the rest of the world show how unique this reality really is. When we look at the twin phenomenon from a global perspective, Igbo Ora quickly stands out. In several countries around the world, twin births are considered rare and, in many cases, even surprising. However, in Igbo Ora, the constant presence of twins is a daily reality. When comparing this city with other places in the world, we realize how unique this phenomenon is. Countries like the United States, for example, have much lower rates of multiple births, despite all the medical and technological advances available. Curiosity about countries with high rates of twins is growing as more people hear about Igbo Ora and their peculiar phenomenon. In other parts of the world, twins are often associated with fertility treatments, such as in vitro fertilization, which can increase the chances of multiples. However, what makes Igbo Ora even more fascinating is that such modern medical interventions are not common in the city. The twins are born naturally, without the influence of artificial technologies or methods, which only increases curiosity about this country and its traditions. It's as if the city is at its own pace, where modern science is still trying to catch up with what has been happening organically for generations. Another interesting factor is the way other countries view the birth of twins. In some cultures, having twins may be seen as something exceptional, but in Igbo Ora, it is part of everyday life. In countries like Japan, where twin birth rates are considerably low, the phenomenon can be seen as a rare sign of luck. However, in Igbo Ora, the culture and traditions surrounding twins are so strong that this luck is almost an expectation. The difference between how twins are perceived in different cultures is a fascinating window into beliefs and customs around the world. These comparisons reveal how special the Igbo Ora phenomenon is. The city stands out for being one of the few in the world where the high rate of twins is completely natural, shaped by culture, genetics, and possibly even diet. And while other nations watch from afar, trying to understand what makes Igbo Ora so different, the social impact of raising so many twins is a challenge that also deserves to be explored, especially when we talk about the role of mothers and their unique journeys. Being a mother of twins anywhere in the world is a challenge in itself, but in Igbo Ora, where the high rate of multiple births is almost a rule, this challenge takes on even greater proportions. Caring for 2 babies at the same time requires strength, resilience, and a solid support network. Mothers of twins in Igbo Ora need more than twice as much patience and energy, especially in a society where resources such as access to healthcare and education can be limited. However, what is surprising is the community spirit that has developed around these families, making caring for twins a responsibility shared by everyone. The health of mothers and children is a constant concern. Multiple pregnancies bring with them greater risks for both the mother and the babies, and in Igbo Ora, access to specialized medical care is not always easy. Women need to prepare themselves emotionally and physically to deal with the challenges of pregnancy and postpartum. They often have the support of traditional midwives and their family network, who help with daily care. This support system is essential to ensure that both mother and babies have the best possible start, despite the difficulties. In addition to the medical challenges, there is also the emotional side of raising two children at the same time. Imagine the emotional impact of caring for two babies who cry, demand attention, and need to be fed at the same time. Mothers in Igbo Ora know that mothering twins is a true marathon. But at the same time, there is a special joy that comes along with being blessed with two children at once. For these women, every difficulty is an opportunity to overcome themselves, and, with the help of the community, they are able to face the challenges with strength and dignity. And we cannot forget the importance of community. In Igbo Ora, mothers of twins count on the solidarity of their neighbors, family, and friends. Everyone helps in some way, whether it's taking care of the babies for a few hours, preparing meals, or offering words of encouragement. This sense of togetherness is what keeps these families strong. However, the birth of twins in Igbo Ora also raises questions about how modern medicine can help alleviate these challenges. And that is the next part of this story. With the advancement of modern medicine, many issues related to health and fertility have been uncovered. However, in Igbo Ora, where the twinning rate is naturally high, modern medicine is still searching for more detailed explanations. Although most twin births occur without the aid of fertility treatments, the role of medicine cannot be ignored. In a city where so many families have multiple children, demands for specialized medical services increase. Local obstetrics faces daily challenges, and doctors need to be prepared to deal with high-risk pregnancies, common in twin births. The advancement of fertility treatments in other parts of the world has caused the incidence of twins to increase artificially. But in Igbo Ora, this phenomenon occurs naturally. Even so, modern medicine has a lot to offer to improve the health conditions of mothers and babies. Advances in prenatal screenings, pregnancy monitoring, and neonatal care have been crucial in ensuring that mothers of twins can have safer pregnancies and healthy babies. Even if there is no need for fertility treatments, adequate medical support is essential to deal with the particularities of this reality. In addition to direct care during pregnancy and childbirth, modern medicine has also helped uncover some of the reasons behind the high rate of twins. With more genetic studies and clinical analyses, doctors are getting closer to discovering how biological, environmental, and even dietary factors influence the birth of twins. In some cases, medical knowledge combines with traditional knowledge, such as that of local midwives, creating a support system that blends ancient and modern to benefit mothers and their babies. The introduction of new technologies in healthcare has also helped transform the way the city deals with multiple births. Clinics with the most modern equipment and trained professionals make all the difference. However, even with all this progress, there is still a lot to be discovered about what really makes Igbo Ora such a fertile land for the birth of twins. And as we explore this question, we cannot ignore the role that spirituality and religious beliefs play in how these births are viewed. In a society where spirituality and religious traditions are deeply rooted, it is no surprise that the birth of twins in Igbo Ora is viewed with reverence. For many, the birth of twins is a blessing, a divine intervention that brings prosperity and joy to the family. In local culture, twins are considered special, a gift from the gods, and each new pair of twins born is celebrated with rituals and ceremonies that date back to ancient times. Elders and religious leaders play an important role in these events, blessing newborns and ensuring they are welcomed into the community with spiritual protection. These rituals are not just symbolic. They reflect the belief that twins have a special connection to the spiritual world. Some believe that twins have unique powers, being able to bring good luck and fortune to their families. In times past, when science was unable to explain this phenomenon, twins were often seen as messengers of the gods, and this belief still persists in some families. However, the spiritual power of twins can also be a cause for fear in certain situations, especially if the correct rituals are not performed. But religion and faith don't always see twins as just a blessing. In ancient times, some cultures viewed twins as ambiguous omens. Depending on the circumstances, they could be interpreted as signs of future challenges. Although this view has largely been abandoned, remnants of ancient superstitions still remain in some regions. Families make a point of following religious customs to the letter, with the fear that if something goes wrong in the rituals, the luck of the twins and the family could be harmed. Religion, therefore, plays an essential role in how twins are treated and celebrated in Igbo Ora. Blessings and rituals help solidify twins' place in society and ensure they are viewed with respect and reverence. As we explore this connection between religion and multiple births, a curiosity arises. How will this spiritual tradition manifest itself in generations to come, especially in an era where the Festival of Twins has become a national celebration? For many in Igbo Ora, the birth of twins goes beyond the physical plane. He is surrounded by deep spiritual and religious beliefs. In local traditions, having twins is predominantly seen as a divine blessing. It is as if the gods, or the ancestors, are bestowing a gift of prosperity and luck on the family and community. This belief is so strong that, shortly after birth, religious rituals are performed to thank and ask for protection for newborns. In churches, mosques, or local shrines, there is a feeling of gratitude that surrounds the arrival of these special babies. However, like every spiritual belief, there is also another side of the coin. In older times, in some parts of Africa, the birth of twins was viewed with suspicion, even as a bad omen. This is not something common today in Igbo Ora, but the stories of the past still resonate. Some legends speak of twins as carriers of powerful energies, which could either bless or curse their families, depending on how they were treated. This ancient fear, although rare these days, is still a reminder that the birth of twins carries deep spiritual weight. Even so, religion and faith are predominant in shaping the positive view about twins in Igbo Ora. Families often hold special religious ceremonies, not only to celebrate the birth, but also to ensure that the twins are guided by spiritual light throughout their lives. These rituals are a unique blend of traditional practices and contemporary religious teachings. They symbolize the union between the divine and the human, where the birth of twins is seen as a pact between the family and the higher forces that govern destiny. However, the role of religion does not stop there. Beliefs and rituals also play an important role in the daily lives of these children, shaping their identity and how they are seen by the community. In every gesture of faith, there is an attempt to understand and honor the phenomenon of twins. But beyond religion, there is another aspect of life in Igbo Ora that continues to attract worldwide attention: the grand annual festival that celebrates these births. In Igbo Ora, the birth of twins is not just a family event. It is a reason for celebration for the entire community. Every year, the city transforms itself to celebrate the annual Gemini Festival, one of the most anticipated festivals in the country. At this event, the city is filled with colors, dances, music, and joy. The festival is a true spectacle, with twins of all ages dressed in identical clothes, parading through the streets and enchanting everyone with their presence. The pride of being part of this community of twins is visible in every smile, in every dance step. This festival is not only a cultural celebration, but also a way to strengthen the identity of twins and families. The event attracts visitors from all over the country and even abroad, curious to witness this unique phenomenon. For the twins, participating in the festival is a rite of passage. From a young age, they grow up knowing that they are part of something bigger, a tradition that spans generations. And for families, it's an opportunity to share stories, remember the difficulties, and celebrate the victories that come with mothering twins. The festival is also a time to reconnect with Igbo Ora, spiritual and cultural traditions. During the parades, community elders bless the twins, asking for prosperity and protection. Religious chants and rituals are an integral part of the festival, reinforcing the belief that twins are, in fact, a divine gift. The atmosphere is one of celebration, but also of reflection, where the past and present meet to honor this tradition that makes Igbo Ora a unique place in the world. In addition to all the festivities, the Twins Festival is also an opportunity for the country to show the world the richness of its culture and curiosities. It is an event that puts Igbo Ora on the map, attracting the attention of tourists, journalists, and researchers who come from far and wide to understand what makes this place a true home for twins. But as the festival continues to grow, many are wondering, what does the future hold for Igbo Ora and her next generations of twins? With each new generation of twins being born in Igbo Ora, the question remains, what does the future hold for this unique city? Will future generations continue to see the same phenomenon of multiple births? The story of Igbo Ora is already fascinating, but eyes now turn to what is to come. With the world constantly changing, curiosity about this country only grows, and many wonder if the city will continue to be known as the Land of Twins in the coming decades. It is as if the destiny of Igbo Ora is linked to these births. Cultural and social changes can also influence the future of the city. As the modern world advances and new influences enter Igbo Ora, the way the community views twins may change. Will traditions remain as strong? Will the impact of globalization bring new challenges for families of twins? These are questions that Igbo Ora residents are already beginning to consider. However, the community spirit that unites the city seems unshakable, and generations to come have the chance to preserve and evolve that legacy in new and exciting ways. Another important point is the impact of science and medicine on the city's future. With more research being done, scientists may unlock even more secrets about what causes this high rate of twins in Igbo Ora. Genetics, diet, and even the environment are factors that continue to be explored. And with each new discovery, the city could become an even greater focus of global attention. The future may bring advances that help ensure that mothers and babies of twins live even healthier and safer lives. Meanwhile, younger generations of twins are already shaping the city's future. They grow up in an environment where they are celebrated and supported, with the promise that the Igbo Ora heritage will be preserved. But the impact of the twin phenomenon in Igbo Ora is not restricted to the city's borders. International interest in this phenomenon continues to grow, and the way the world views Igbo Ora is constantly changing. The fascination that Igbo Ora exerts on the rest of the world goes far beyond a simple country curiosity. The history of this city, with its impressive rate of multiple births, has already crossed borders, attracting the attention of journalists, documentary filmmakers, and researchers from all corners of the planet. It is curious to observe how the world reacts to the phenomenon. On the one hand, there is a genuine enchantment with the mystique that surrounds the place. On the other, the desire to scientifically understand how this phenomenon is possible. Igbo Ora came to be seen as a living mystery, something that piques human curiosity. Tourists are also increasingly interested in visiting the city. Many want to see up close how this community lives and understand in practice what makes this place so special. For many visitors, it is almost like witnessing an everyday miracle. The city's culture of hospitality, combined with the charisma of its residents and their traditions, makes Igbo Ora a peculiar and captivating destination. Tourism, although still discreet, has the potential to grow as more people become interested in getting to know the Land of Twins. This curiosity about the country and its culture is fueled by documentaries, articles, and reports that continue to appear. For researchers, Igbo Ora has become a true open-air laboratory. Scientists from different areas visit the city in the hope of discovering something new about genetics, fertility, and even the influence of environment and diet on multiple births. The phenomenon of twins, which has intrigued the scientific community for so long, has found fertile ground for investigation in Igbo Ora. Each new study brings to light even deeper questions, expanding the debate about what is really behind this singularity. As Igbo Ora's fame grows, the question also arises of how the city will deal with increased international attention. Will this global fascination bring change to the city? Will tourism and scientific curiosity transform local dynamics? As the world watches and investigates, the challenges of understanding this phenomenon also increase. And the answers, so far, are just the beginning of a puzzle that continues to surprise and captivate everyone. Studying the twin phenomenon in Igbo Ora is like trying to decipher a puzzle that seems to have countless pieces missing. For scientists and researchers dedicated to understanding this anomaly, each answer brings a new question. One of the biggest challenges in studying the phenomenon is the lack of a single explanation that can cover all the factors involved. Genetics, diet, traditions, and even environment appear to play different but interconnected roles in shaping this unusual landscape. And the truth is that science is still far from closing the case. Another major obstacle for researchers is the limited nature of resources available in Igbo Ora. The city does not have large research centers or advanced laboratories, which makes it difficult to carry out more in-depth and regular studies. Many of the studies that take place there are observational, with scientists trying to gather as much information as possible over short periods of time. This limits the depth of discoveries and leaves many questions unanswered. Funding and support for more robust studies are also limited, which makes advancing research a slow process. Conflicting theories also make studying this phenomenon a real challenge. While some experts focus on genetic aspects, others believe that diet, especially yam consumption, is mainly responsible for the high rate of twins. There are still those who argue that environmental factors, such as the geography of the region, also influence the phenomenon. With so many theories competing for space, it is difficult to reach a definitive conclusion. And this clash between different lines of thought only expands the mystery surrounding Igbo Ora. Despite all the challenges, the study of twins in Igbo Ora continues to advance, albeit gradually. With each new discovery, new possibilities arise, and curiosity about this country only increases. What we don't yet know about this phenomenon may be as surprising as what has already been discovered. And the mystery surrounding the Igbo Ora twins may well continue to fascinate future generations. And now, with the challenges clear, the question remains: what will be the next step in the search for answers? The phenomenon of twins in Igbo Ora is one of those mysteries that seems to stand the test of time. Even with all the research, theories, and explanations, there is something about the Land of Twins that continues to fascinate. The combination of genetic, dietary, cultural, and spiritual factors creates a unique atmosphere, where each new birth of twins is celebrated as part of a cycle that seems to have no end. the eternal fascination with this city goes far beyond curiosity about unusual countries. It touches something deeper, something that awakens the desire to understand the inexplicable. And it is this mix of tradition and mystery that keeps the world's interest alive. With each generation, more and more twins come into the world, and the questions continue to be asked. Why here? Why now? Will we ever have a complete explanation for what happens in Igbo Ora? The answer may not be so simple, but it is precisely this complexity that attracts people from all over the world. The mystery remains alive, as scientists and tourists remain fascinated by the possibility of a place where the unusual became common. However, no matter how much the world tries to decipher Igbo Ora's secrets, for the villagers, the twins are simply part of who they are. The stories, celebrations, and belief that twins are a divine blessing continue to shape how the city sees itself. For them, mystery is a natural part of life, an inheritance that must be cared for and preserved. And while the world watches from the outside, the city continues its course, welcoming each new pair of twins as a gift that life offers. The fascination with Igbo Ora is far from fading. In fact, as the world continues to change and evolve, the mystery of this city and its twins only deepens. And so, we leave one last question in the air. How far will human curiosity take us in our quest to understand the secrets of Igbo Ora? The future still has a lot to reveal.
Hey explorers, if you love discovering the amazing curiosities and stories we share here on Exploring Nations, how about supporting the channel with just $1? This small gesture can make a big difference and is essential to keep this content going. Without your support, our journey might be cut short. And there's more. When you shop on Amazon, use our special link. It costs you nothing extra, plus you get an exclusive discount and it helps us out a lot. The links for donations and Amazon are pinned in the first comment. Don't let this adventure stop, we're counting on you. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like, and drop us a comment.